Hello. Good evening. No, I'm not going to try to do Jason Carl. It's a bad idea.
No, do it. I'm into it.
Late at night, I think of you. Your vision floods my mind.
Welcome to episode 2 of our chronicle Down Under by Night. Would our 3 vampires and 1 ghoul like to introduce themselves?
Hi, I'm Zach, and I'm playing Jim Hill, a usual vampire, sometimes penguin.
Hi, I'm Sin, and I'm playing Vika Smith, a vampire who's from the Soviet Union.
Hi, I'm Sophie. I'm playing Snart, Sin's ghoul.
Hello, I'm Steven, also known as Captain, and I'm playing Remy LeBeau, he is a vet, and also a vampire, and also a hobo.
So when we last left our intrepid group, they were leaving the mall that they had kind of vandalized a little bit in Vika's car. They had decided to head towards the gas station, the 4th location of animal sacrifice that they have been made aware of. It's a few minutes into the drive when, Snart, your phone rings. And it is the other vampire in town on the caller ID because you were supposed to have a cooking class with him tonight before all of this brouhaha happened. What's the ringtone you have for Remy?
Hello.
Now, Remy, you are not calling strictly because of the missed cooking class. You are calling because there's been another animal sacrifice right next to the Bowery where your flock is, and they are freaked the hell out.
So, Remy will finally speak, in character. Bonjour. Who this? There's been another one, outside the Bowery.
Okay, do we want to go to the Bowery, everyone?
What is a Bowery?
She says that loud enough you can hear it through the phone.
Do you want me to just hold the phone up to Vika?
Put me on speaker. Put me on speaker.
Okay. Alright.
It's a bad place. We don't got no running water.
Do you have mochi ice cream?
Artisanal flavors. 3 kinds.
Ooh.
Guy in a truck comes by.
Okay, we go.
Alrighty. Which of us is driving? It's me, isn't it?
I do believe we did not establish who was driving when you left the mall, but you were the driver for the rest of the night.
Okay, so I'm driving. So let's go see Remy.
Bowery is equidistant from where you are and the outskirts gas station where you were originally planning to go. So it's not really that much of a change in plans per se. It takes you the same amount of time to get there as it would have otherwise. Uneventful ride. You get there. You are burning moonlight with all the driving. It's past midnight now. Remy, what do they see when they get there?
Was I able to source any mochi? Is that a streetwise roll?
Probably wits and survival.
So, a wits and survival to find mochi, you said?
Yeah.
Excellent. It was a bestial failure, possibly. So I had to kill someone for this.
How many successes?
I'm looking at a skull with fangs, and then I'm looking at an ankh with 2 stars next to it.
And then the rest are blank?
Yeah.
Well, you're not taking a direct action, so we won't call that a real bestial failure. So
I enjoy the idea of just slamming some guy up against where can I find mochi? I don't know what you're talking about.
You're whoever is the trusted member of your flock to go out and get supplies for the members who need to do things like eat and drink and breathe, was only able to ascertain that it was not within a convenient walking distance.
Gotcha. All right, so on approach, you'll see a fairly tall man. We're talking practically 7 feet tall, wide brick shithouse.
Oh.
Yeah. Gray. He's wearing that really thick canvas army jacket. Green pants, bloused into his combat boots. He looks old.
So, of course, you have not met Remy because you try to put as little effort into every night as possible.
Absolutely true.
He was not able to find ice cream, or mochi, but I really like the idea of him standing with like two waffle cones with just regular ice cream in them, like soft serve, like just glaring at the middle distance.
Really, for you, since you can't eat normal food, it seems like this giant waste of time.
Absolutely, this would turn to ash and misery in my mouth.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I got 2 just in case.
Does everybody pile out of the Vika-mobile?
Yes.
Yes.
The person who gets closest first is the proud new owner of 2 ice cream cones, because Remy no longer wishes to hold them.
Yeah, okay,
Well,
I
it's not
take them.
Yeah, I think we know who that would be.
Late at night, I think of you. Your vision floods my mind.
So I hear you have a dead animal problem, and Jim is expert in analyzing dead animals.
So is that a hobby of yours, or
I just picked it up tonight.
nasty? All right, this way. Remy's going to produce a little packet of cigarettes, bite down on one, and then offer to anybody.
No, I'll take one.
And he'll light up cigarettes as we go, and also ask to be let in on what's going on.
We found that people are draining these cows with surgical instruments, it seems. And they seem to be doing it for some sort of wacky occult reason that they may or may not understand.
Remy, that sounds exactly like the site that's right next to the Bowery.
Okay. So tools, cows. We
Well, we
figured
don't
out.
have cows. Yours, in fact, is a goat.
So he will mention that I ain't got no cow. He's a goat. You been at this for how long?
Mostly just tonight.
Yeah.
So it's happened 3 times now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So this happened in all different part of the city. Same tools, different animals.
Yeah.
Yes, what it
Seems
looks
that
like,
way
yes.
so far.
Can we go look at your goat?
So he leads you not inside the main building, such as it is, of where his people are, but kind of around the side. And around the side of that is where the, I guess you would call it, crime scene is. There is a dead goat. There are divination runes scrawled in blood on the wall. It is very much like the mall, because unlike Vika's cow, it hasn't been done in the ground where the blood is dried and soaked and scattered on the leaves. Sir, why don't you roll intelligence and academics?
5 successes.
Oh,
Okay, so
wow.
you were the one. That's a lot. You were the one at the mall who recognized these as divination runes in the first place, and seeing them here again. It is a different pattern, and getting more used to seeing these things, you can tell immediately. They're trying to divine the weather, but about 3/4 of the way, as you look at the runes doing that, about 3/4 of the way, it sort of devolves into like runic gibberish, if there is such a thing. It loses the plot, so to speak. Although before then, apparently, it's going to rain in a few days.
That makes sense.
So Snart, are you saying the weatherman is behind this?
It is possible. We can't rule them out.
Weirder things have happened.
I got a question.
Yes.
And he points to Snart's smartphone. The Snartphone, if you will. Can't you just figure out what the weather is tomorrow with that?
All right.
What they need runes for?
It's a very good question.
What they need a goat for?
What did they need a goat for in the first place? What did you need a goat for?
Oh, it's not my goat.
Oh, okay. It's just one of the many wild goats that we have around Melbourne.
While they're doing that, can I try and see if there's any of those size 9 footprints around?
I think you'd
absolutely.
better.
Roll wits and survival.
4 successes.
Oh yeah, there's quite a few.
Okay.
But you barely have to look.
Okay, in that case, if I'm seeing that, I'm gonna pull out my phone and I'm just gonna start, photographing these footprints and see if I can get some good impressions.
Remy's gonna watch you do that. Just be like, mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna make sure Vika doesn't wander off. Or just fall asleep or something.
Well, the ice cream has been imbibed by this point, right? Surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She does get tired by eating very easily.
Yeah.
Just like,
All right.
Vampires can food coma. Who knew?
Well, that is a novelty to Remy because he can't eat without vomiting everything forever. So Remy will ask, like, what you got there?
I'm just trying to see if I can find whose feet made these prints.
Yeah.
Oh, are we gonna do the Cinderella?
Sort of. Yeah. Just.
Well, you're gonna have to explain that one to me.
Well, eventually, if we come across somebody who's doing this sort of thing, we might get the chance to see if their shoes are the ones that are, if they did this, because same shoes, same print, see if it fits.
I was actually going to ask, you seen these shoes before?
These should match the ones from Vika's farm, right?
Yeah, they do match.
Yep, so yeah, we've seen them before.
This one person is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Or are they all sharing the same shoe?
That would be impressive.
Not impossible, though.
Snart told me you know policemen. And Nostradamus gave me some cards of policemen last time we went.
Snart, you don't like cops.
No.
Okay, but who cares what Snart likes?
That's true, no one.
You're right, I don't know what I was thinking.
Is it the same policeman?
Yeah.
So, can we go ask them what's up? Maybe they can help us?
I could give him a call, maybe. Using my cellular phone.
Yes.
He's not great with technology.
It's okay, neither is Jim.
Remy's gonna ask to borrow Snart's phone.
That was it appearing through the screen.
And manifesting a phone of similar make on my side. Beep boop bop. Calling that policeman.
So Remy, you give Detective McCoy a call. Already forgotten the name.
Yes, I give officer or detective or investigator Trent McCoy a call on my cellular phone.
With 2 dots, your contact is a detective. It's better than beat cop.
Yeah, one step above.
Yeah, so rings a few times, picks up, says, "What do you want, Remy?" Slightly impatient. You get the impression he might be busy.
I ain't gonna waste your time. And then he stops for a second. I got a dead goat.
You're wasting my time.
It was on the news. Assume you want to know.
You say that again?
I got a dead goat. Someone scribbled on the wall with all his blood. It ain't pretty. Bunch of my boys are scared.
In runes?
He's gonna try to bring up the camera and take a really bad selfie.
Wait! Stop pressing.
Hold on, I got this.
You're blowing out my eardrums with the ringtones.
Hold on a second. Remy will pass it over to Snart to make this magical machine.
Okay, so now I'm showing off the...
Okay, and as the phone is not up to anyone's ear, you all just hear, like, in the distance from it, out of thin air, just,
Yeah.
you know what? Stay right there. We're on our way.
Remy will, I guess, get the phone back. Like, well, I sent you a picture.
He's already hung up.
All right, he hung up. Which one of you don't like cops again?
All of us?
You in the wrong place.
I'll be the diplomatic one. I'll pretend I like cops for the purposes of this exchange.
Trent ain't too bad. He watches after my boys.
Okay.
I'm gonna hide anyway.
That's
Don't
probably
hide
a good
anyway.
idea.
Vika
least
probably
half
doesn't
of
need to
us.
hide because Vika has a good fake identity made by somebody who's good at making fake identities, so it's not like she flags anything. The detectives get there about probably 20 minutes or so. They get out, they find you at the side of the building. It's not too hard. You probably have one of your flock wreck them. It's like, it's
yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
They probably don't like the cops that much either, even though there's kind of a balance going on.
There's a symbiosis, but it's not a comfortable one.
The one Remy was talking to is the taller of the two. His partner is a little short, a little gangly. Not as much of a manlet as like Ben Shapiro though. So not something you really make fun of
So
him
just
over.
a standard unit of measurement now.
Oh, absolutely.
Average human height, 3 Ben Shapiros.
Is that
Remy's
better?
5 Ben Shapiros.
On the tippy toes.
Vika's half a Ben Shapiro.
What I like is that I'm a full head taller than Sin in real life, but she's like the strong one.
Yeah.
It's the personality fills the room.
Bruja,
Yeah.
you know.
No, it's physical strength.
No, physically, like I finally understand what it's like to be like in a D&D party where there's like the fighter is a dwarf. And I'm like the elf wizard hiding behind it. Going,
When you're that low to the ground, your center of gravity, you're connected to
Yeah.
Mother Earth.
It's the opposite of your Dark Souls co-op experiences with Sin.
Oh my god, shots fired!
So, the two detectives walk straight for where Remy is standing near the dead goat. They do glance at you, Snart, but the goat is far more interesting. They look at it, they glance at themselves, they look at the goat again, and then they immediately start taking pictures, and Detective Trent says out loud, but to no one in particular, yeah, that's another one, alright.
Can I at this point use awe? So I have to roll, right?
Not just for turning awe on, no.
Okay, basically what I want to do is I want them to tell me everything they know about everything that's happening.
That's
How
a
do I
lot
do
of
that?
information.
everything.
Okay, so
Everything.
Detective Trent says to Remy, "How long has this been here?" And then Vika turns on the supernatural charm.
Yeah.
So Vika, what do you say to? Actually, which one of them are you talking to?
There's the tall one and the wide one.
Both of them in their general direction.
So you sort of you try to walk in front of them to get their attention.
Hello,
Okay.
detectives.
The shorter one looks at you, doesn't say anything, but he's obviously a little surprised. Like he kind of barely noticed you because the goat was more interesting, and also Snart's taller. Detective Trent looks at you and kind of does a double take, and he's like, "Wow, where did you come from?"
The
He thinks
Soviet
you're
Union.
adorable. Yeah, well, you must be younger than you look. Older than you look, rather. You look really good for whatever your age probably is. It's
Ah, thank you, you're very sweet, so I hand him some money.
He kind of looks at your outstretched hand, and he thinks you're even more adorable now, but he doesn't move to take it, and he says, It's not. I could kind of get into trouble if I took that, even if it's not really a bribe. I mean, as much as I kind of need it, and the other detective just looks at him and looks at you and shrugs and says, "Oh, what the hell?" and he takes it.
So what's going on here? What's up with the dead animals?
I don't know. We've been investigating them for, I guess, about a week and a half now, all over town. I didn't know this.
Mm-hmm.
How long has this been here? And he looks at Remy again, like really hoping this question will get answered before Sin enraptures him again. Vika enraptures him again.
Remy is going to smudge a little one of the corner rooms, just give it a little touch and wipe to see how fresh that blood is.
The Detective Trent almost is barely restraining himself from freaking out. He's like, no, don't disturb the crime scene. And would you like to roll to see if you can figure out from that how long this has been here?
Absolutely.
Go ahead and roll intelligence and survival.
Not my strongest trait, but my survival is okay. So, looks like 5. 4 successes. Wow.
Since probably just before the sun went down.
How long ago was that?
A few hours. It's about 3 a.m.
It's about 3 a.m.
They talk it over amongst themselves for about 5 seconds, and then Detective Trent says to you, "Just don't touch anything again. We need to get CSI out here, see if there's any fingerprints that aren't yours."
I just like to state for the record, this a goat.
Yeah, it's a go, Remy. Thanks.
Are we that concerned?
He suddenly looks evasive, like he does not actually want to answer that question.
Remy's gonna kind of gesture because there's some wuju going on. This is the time to turn it on.
Officers, why are you so concerned? It's just a goat.
This one you're going to have to roll for, because he really doesn't want to answer this question.
Okay,
so
let's roll.
Roll charisma and persuasion.
Okay, a roll. 4 successes, possible messy crit.
Sin just nailing the messy crits. I just need to find a template for Mortal NPC here.
His head explodes.
Just like scanners.
Yeah.
Oh
Probably
my god.
There's probably no point in even rolling for him. But we can do. Oh yeah. He got no successes, so he just he kind of pets you on the head because he thinks you're adorable. Like he's reacting to you the way most people react to cats. You're just that charming right now. And he says, it's like, oh, well, I mean, I guess I really shouldn't be telling you. Don't tell anyone I told you this, but you should probably know this so you can stay safe. Because this is more dangerous than we've let on to all the news and the reporters and the muckrakers. But for every one of these that have been reported in the news so far, we've actually also found a dead person, basically done up in the same way, exsanguinated with the crazy ritualistic nonsense. And frankly, we have very few leads.
So why you out here looking at a goat?
Well, it's possible there's a dead person somewhere close by. And if they're not close by, it's possible there's a dead person somewhere in town somewhere, if this happened a few hours ago.
How close by were the other bodies?
Couple of miles, no more than a couple of miles. The one in the mall was in the shop right next to where we found the animal. And we think they may have been interrupted. I really shouldn't tell you any more of this.
Remy is getting upset, mostly because this is the kind of thing that is flagged as my boys are in danger. Because if anybody's going to get murdered and turned into runes, it's going to be homeless people. So he is going to start pushing a little bit harder, which for a man his size is devastating.
Yeah, and intimidation is pretty good for you. Now that he's paying attention to you, Vika's awe is not quite as enrapturing as it was a moment ago, so you're also going to have to roll if you want to get more out of him.
Give it a shot.
You're probably not going to try to be nice about it, so your roll is... What's the intimidation roll besides intimidation? Manipulation and intimidation.
Oh, that's not terrible for me. Ready for it? I am preparing to press the roll button. One success. Not bad, not good.
Let's see. He is intimidated by you. That's his second roll in a row of no successes.
Nice.
What do you say in your intimidation tactics?
I think
intimidation tactic, what is that sentence?
Remy's intimidation is very slow and stoic. All he kind of has to do is lean forward, and it becomes apparent that this man weighs maybe 350 pounds. It's not fat, it's all muscle, and it's just, you can hear it tensing underneath the canvas jacket. He's like, I'm gonna need you to talk to me real slow, because I ain't that smart. Who died?
Well, it was at the mall. It was one of the employees at the sporting goods store.
Male, female?
And male. And over down at the gas station, it was one of the winos. And over at the auditorium place, it was a tourist out back who we're not even sure was there for the show or not.
The referring to probably an indigent person as a wino is kind of triggering for Remy.
Mm-hmm.
He is going to need to cool off, or someone is going to have their heads punched off like a champagne cork.
So you're going to roll undamaged willpower plus 1/3 of your humanity.
I got 3 successes. Nobody dies tonight.
Nobody dies tonight. You are able to clamp down on that white hot rage burning behind your eyes.
You've seen that gif of the dog being offered muffins, and the dog is just like staring into space as the images flash. That's Remy for a brief moment, hearing the screams of fallen men.
It is pretty obvious you're angry, but he's already intimidated by you, so he doesn't really notice. But everyone else might. The other detective is kind of staring intently, not so much intimidated as curious.
So Remy will place a single, unshaken hand on the detective's shoulder, just like brush off a little bit of, presumably dust, because we did mention there's a lot of dirt. Yeah. Wipes it clean, and he says, next time there's something out there killing my boys, I'd appreciate being let know about it. Think you can do that for me?
Well, I mean, it's miles away. I didn't think this was one of your boys, but okay.
I got a dead goat here, and who knows if I lost any of my people. And Remy will look over to Vika and Snart and say, you handle this piece of shit, or I'm gonna punch his face off. And he will remove himself from the scene in order to keep faces unpunched.
So, detectives, do you have a file you keep on this whole situation?
I mean, there's one back at the station somewhere.
Can I have it?
No, and we don't even have it with us anyway, because we're not at the station.
Okay.
His partner also seems intrigued.
Well, that's plan A. Can we have it?
His partner is sort of like looking askew at Vika, and he's like, oh my God.
She's Russian. It's how they do things.
Do you guys have any suspects?
I mean, we can't really just go into detail about that with, anyone. Because, we keep stuff out of the press. It's really important for how we catch criminals. We hide important facts of the case. It's one of the ways we filter out the kooks who claim responsibility just for attention. He is doing this over and over and over again.
So you said there is a dead person every time there is a dead animal. Is the person before or after the animal?
Oh, I haven't seen the coroner's reports yet, but I'm guessing it's around the same time.
Where is the coroner?
Person who examines dead bodies.
No. I ask you where.
Oh, where? Oh, I guess.
Where he live? Where I find them?
I don't know. It's a coworker, and not even really a coworker, because it's not my department. He's still entranced by your supernatural wiles, so he's like sort of just completely flabbergasted by this line of questioning, but is like he's hurting his own feelings because he can't help you. It is at this point that his partner just kind of like starts trying to like forcibly turn him around. It's like we should get going. We need to. Yeah, we clearly have more work to do. We need to get some guys out here to look around and see if there's another body.
The detectives are gone, Jin. You can come out now.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna come on out and I'm gonna see if I can follow those size 9 prints anywhere.
Well, there are a lot more footprints around the area now. As you hear the detectives driving away, you can roll intelligence and survival again to try to glean something.
2 successes.
Well, you can certainly tell there are 6 sets of prints. It's kind of hard to tell where any of them are going.
I can ask the boys maybe look around, but this dangerous. They don't want any of this hoodoo.
We can look around.
You can all certainly look around. Are you going to completely split up?
Yeah, I think that since the stakes are a little bit higher now, I would say that we should probably split up and see how much ground we can cover in the local area and see if anybody's dead or in the process of being made dead.
You, Remy will kind of communicate, like he's got boys, they are out there. Generally speaking, if they look homeless, he probably knows them. So if you communicate through them, it will be communicated to him in lieu of cellular phone, of which he has 0. I guess we're just Scooby-Doo style, like just splitting up gang.
What's the nearby area like, Remy? What are they going to find as they go in separate directions?
So have you seen Mad Max: The Road Warrior, the first one? So when the first one shot, they didn't have the budget to make it a nuclear apocalypse, so there was still an awful lot of society, but it was very stretched out. The Bowery is still on the tail end of the city, so there is structure there, but it has all but been abandoned. So sometimes there's power, sometimes there's not. It's mostly just kind of a section that you go to get the things that you can't get anywhere else, like mochi or drugs.
Or mochi that's been injected with drugs.
Or drug mochi. It's a neighborhood watch zone, except the neighborhood watch is a crackhead, and he has stolen your wallet.
So this splitting up might lead to some interesting results here. So, Vika, are you taking charge of your search pair, or are you making Snart do the looking?
I do looking. Snart watch my back.
Okay.
Okay.
You do
Snart,
looking, and I'll interpret what you find for you.
Yeah.
Snart, do you have any dots in survival or? I was going to say survival or streetwise, but I think survival is still fine.
I have 3 in survival and 0 in streetwise.
Okay, so Vika, roll your choice, either wits and streetwise or wits and survival. Add 1 because Snart is helping you.
3 successes.
3 successes. So you avoid the crack dealers, and you search fairly unabated, and we'll come back to that, to how your search goes in a moment. So Remy and Jim, again, your choice, wits and survival or wits and streetwise.
Wits and survival works much better for me.
I'm gonna go with wits and streetwise. I think he's going to be exploring avenues. He's going to be asking, have you seen any white males? Because let's be honest, statistically, serial killers.
Statistically, yeah.
Would this count as hunting?
I'm going to say yes, because you're using survival in the first place, which means you're probably looking for more tracks, looking for disturbed environment, not taking the approach that Remy is taking of, like, approaching people and trying to interrogate someone.
Oh, okay, so dice pool 5, hunger 1. Roll. 2 successes.
No, it's dice pool 6, hunger 1.
Oh, never mind. 3 successes.
There you go, that worked out. So, you managed to pick up the tracks again. The size 9 footprint going in 2 different directions. One direction is the way you came when you first got here and Remy led you back, and the other direction is relatively in the direction you were about to head out in, because it's the direction outward that the other 3 have not gone to search in. So you get to choose which one you follow at the moment.
I'm going to say let's go further out, because we probably parked in the only place that's convenient to drive from, so that's probably where they first arrived anyway. So I'm going to head further out.
Okay, so you head further out. Remy, what did you get?
I got 3 successes.
3 successes. So you what kind of person are you looking for to talk to? Because whatever you think would be most useful, you can find pretty easily.
If I understood what the detective was saying, the criminal investigator, he said that somebody was killed in a mall, somebody was killed outside of a gas station, and somebody was killed outside of what was the third one? A theater. Yes. Those are 2 of those are relatively high traffic areas. And the only high traffic areas around here are probably filled with crackheads. So yes, a crackhead. Or a meth.
There was a meth lab across the road for some time.
Delightful.
It's gone now.
Yes.
Maybe bath salts if you're really unlucky. So that tends to get everywhere.
We'll say we wish to procure a local meth head for which to inquire.
Probably not crocodile, because that's a Russian thing.
Yeah.
It's horrifying. So it does not take you long to find a meth head at all. I assume you're looking for one outside. You're not going to bust into
a meth den.
Yeah.
They tend to explode.
Yeah, it doesn't take you that long to 10, 15 minutes to find someone in an alleyway sitting up against the wall of a building, not all there, but not unconscious. Are you going to approach and talk first, or going to try to let them talk first?
I think it would be fair to let the meth head try to say their piece first, because then at least we can insert ourselves into the narrative.
So he, as you approach, he's pulling his hands up to his nose and snorting, and you get a pretty good idea that he's kind of so desperate for more meth that he's convinced himself he has more meth in his hands.
It's like when you eat Cheetos and you have the dust on your fingies.
Yeah, and he's not actually getting any more meth because he doesn't have any more meth. He thinks he does because he wants it that badly.
Fair enough.
Not convincing yourself that things work like that is actually something you kind of have experience with. That's neither here nor there.
Correct.
He does that a couple of times, and he eventually does hear you walk up, and he looks up, and he's just like, "Hey, you're tall." And when he smiles, he has one tooth that's not black.
Remy will respond with a slow smile of his own that just cracks the side of his face wide open, because he doesn't do this very often. And he does say, "Yeah, I am."
He reaches out and he pokes you in the shin, and when his finger makes contact, he pulls it back and then does it 2 more times, and he says, "Oh, you're real too." And he keeps poking you in the shin. He's really interested in your physical presence.
That's going to be allowed to happen for a couple of times, and then he is going to just real gently, as one would catch a bird from the air, just put his hand over the guy's hand and be like, I need you to listen to me. I'm looking for someone that don't belong.
I mean, we all belong here, right?
I'm tall. You're not. I'm thinking somebody else tall. Maybe not. And he's gonna kind of like, we only have the shoe size to go on.
Yeah.
But he's gonna have tools. We've agreed that there was some sort of like when you take gas from a gas tank, that sort of situation.
Yep.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. He's gonna have tools. He's gonna smell like blood, probably. And he's not gonna be high on meth. I don't think.
Oh, yeah, I mean, that would be really unusual. I mean,
we're all high on meth here.
There's tools like over there. He points straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's tools over there. And he points to like the space between two buildings. So at this point, you're going to have to roll to try to get something more useful out of him.
So Remy still has a hold of his finger, like his hand. He's just going to tighten it gently to bring him back to the present. Just a little bit of pressure.
Gently. So not the friendliest kind of attempting to get information out of somebody. So
some would call it intimidation of a physical nature, but I don't want to label this.
Go ahead and do strength and intimidation.
Those are very good for me. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Might be too good.
My hunger is still. My hunger is still 1. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
5 successes.
5 successes. He's probably prioritized meth over milk because.
His bones.
His finger just goes crack. He's just sort of like, he tries to pull it back, and it doesn't really work, but he keeps trying because he doesn't realize it's not working. He's like, hey, why?
I need you to be here right now with me.
So yeah, I'm gonna ask again. I'm here. I mean, we're touching each other. We're definitely here.
Man who don't belong. Think.
I mean, there was someone I'd never seen before.
That's good.
Over where like we used to get our stuff from, but it was too small, so the guy who like cooks everything moved out.
I don't care about your life story. Give me an address.
The five building. He tries to point, but his broken finger.
The finger just limply like
5. If you let it go, otherwise it's still in his hand. So just 5 buildings down that way, and then a left at the intersection, and it's the 3rd building on the left. Ow.
So Remy will release his finger and say very simply, "Stop doing mess." Like, cut that shit out. So in an act of kindness, after shattering this man's finger into a fine powder, he will provide a soup kitchen, like some place that this guy can go to get a head start on life. And he will offer nothing else.
Do you give him like the address written down on a piece of paper, because he's certainly not going to remember it verbally?
Yeah, I'll give him a sticky note.
Give him a sticky note. He tries to take it and he like misses it, possibly because his finger's still wet, and it drops down onto his leg, and he reaches
somewhere in the
for
distance, a slide trombone plays. Like,
he reaches for it on his leg, and he ends up touching it with his broken finger, and he's like, and he pulls his finger away and says, "Ow, my leg hurts." And he tries to pick it up again. "Ow, my leg."
Oh.
Remy feels nothing and leaves.
So, Vika, you rolled 3 successes for your search. What are you searching for?
A dead body.
Dead body. You don't see any dead bodies out here.
Okay.
You're checking the alleys as you walk by.
This is Vika attempting to solve a murder. Ask the police, can you tell us everything? When they say
We
no,
can't.
just
We
walk
can't do
off and
that.
stand there looking for a dead body. Well, there's not one lying in the street. I don't know what to do now.
The game's afoot.
Ideas?
Cry God for England, Harry, and St. George.
Oh, Lord.
Snart, I have exhausted all my ideas.
That's
Do you have
true,
any?
yes. Well, in my character sheet, I actually have library and database use as a skill. So we could potentially look up, like,
Can we go to the library?
will the library be open?
Are we near a library?
We could
You're
use
in
an
driving
internet
distance for
library.
library. You can do that too.
Because if you have library, why don't we Google, like, goat, cow, runes, murder? And then Google tells us.
You're looking at like a why rather than a how?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of you can roll intelligence and academics, and if the other one has academics, they can help.
I have 3 academics and 2 intelligence.
I have 3 intelligence and 4 academics.
Okay, how can I help Sophie? Because if she rolls and I want to help, what do I do?
Sophie gets an extra die because you're helping, because you have at least 1 dot in the relevant skill.
Over the shoulder, pointing, like,
Okay.
click that,
Yeah.
click
Okay.
that.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so-
outside of game mechanics, that is exactly how I imagine you're going to be helping.
I got 5 successes.
Yeah, you find an internet cafe, or an internet library cafe / the thing you're looking for. It's not even very far away. It is kind of, it's not the best looking establishment. It does match the neighborhood, but
Yeah.
it's 24/7. It's open. There's it only smells a little bit inside. The computers aren't too out of date, so you can you're going to research, like, are there any rituals where these animals all fit together, things like that.
Yeah.
What you find is absolutely zero zip and zilch. If anything, the idea that this is somebody who's either making shit up as they go, or who has gotten some sort of bizarre conspiracy or not real occult nonsense into their heads is significantly reinforced for you.
Right, okay.
Like, at this point, you're probably 90% certain.
Right, okay. So we then just fall back on trying to find out something about the person that likely did it, I guess, because clearly they don't know what they're doing. So there was that terrible occult book that we found, remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so do we think they got the idea from that occult book that wasn't very good?
So the name of the terrible book they found, which, Remy, they have, I'm going to assume they told you, because why wouldn't they, was The Reality of Magic: How the Illuminati Uses Sorcery to Maintain Power by 12 Crows.
That is a dumb book.
It's a very dumb book. Yeah, it posits that divination runes are secret markers of the lizard men who secretly run the government. Which government? Who knows?
They're Sneeple, I believe, is what they like to be called.
Oh, really? That's a new one with me.
Yeah. Talk to enough meth heads, this stuff disseminates.
Yeah, Yes, I need to make Jim roll for his searchings, which is probably going to be investigation and survival again. You have gone off away from the dead goat.
2 successes.
You kind of just wander into Remy as he's heading for the address he found, because eventually you hit road. There's no more footprints to follow, because you're not in, like, a large backyard anymore. But it's the direction they were leading in, so apparently Remy's going in the right direction, maybe.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Are you two still at the internet cafe?
I think we would,
I can't
because I
remember
think
words.
they would probably sell something that Vika would be eating.
Are you other two going to text or call or otherwise try to communicate with them and pick them up on your way, or are you going to let them keep doing their own thing?
Remy does not have a phone. Does Jim have a phone?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and text them, and it's going to be one of those kind of like, you know how old people are with touch screens where they stab the shit out of them?
Oh no, this is the worst.
Yeah.
Remy, Jim, you reach the address. Several more minutes pass. Vika's snacking at the internet cafe. Does Vika finish snacking at the internet cafe?
Yes. So what's happening now?
Oh, you received a text message from Jim, rife with emojis improperly placed, indicating that we were headed to a place that might be of interest.
Okay.
So
we're gonna meet you at that place.
Okay.
It's not far. It's a few minutes walk. You haven't. You know, this has not been a Scooby-Doo split up. Although I say that, but as Vika and Snart leave the internet cafe, there is a guy wearing a coat that is too heavy, kind of not too far away from the front door. When he sees you come out, he stops pretending to be nonchalant, turns to you instantly, pulls a knife, even though he's still about 20 feet away, and he just says, "Money, valuables, now, come on."
I'm gonna move behind Vika.
Can I ask him? Is everything okay? What's up?
What's up?
He glances around. He glances around a little bit, and he says, What's up is I'm taking your stuff. Give me your goddamn money and your valuables. Come on."
Oh, okay. How much money you need? So I give him a bunch of money. Here you go. Get yourself something nice.
He kind of takes it with two fingers, like he's worried he's going to combust as soon as he touches it. And he just sort of like stands there staring at it, and like the knife hand just goes limp at his side. He is like his brain has just broke. Like you could probably walk away if you want to.
Actually, listen, can I ask you a little favor now that we're friends?
And he looks back and forth between you and the bills, and he says, "Yeah, sure."
So, have you seen any strange men walking around? Big feet, tall, maybe surgical tools?
I mean, there was a cop here, and this wasn't his beat.
What do you mean? Can you tell me more?
He was like yay high, and the height he gestures is a little bit on the short side, but not too short. You know, 4 Ben Shapiros. Not as tall as Remy or Jim, though. You know, just average height. You know, he was like that. He was. I mean, he was plain clothes. I guess he was. I don't know. Wasn't a uniformed cop. Just no, because.
What did he
someone else
want? Why
tried
was
to-
he here?
I mean, I don't know. Someone tried to mug him and flashed a badge and scared him off, and didn't bother arresting him and just kept going.
Snart, help me out here. I feel like this is valuable information.
Okay. Tell us more about the cop then. Like, how did you... What were they doing?
It looked like he was just in a hurry to get somewhere. He just was going from one place to another and didn't have time to stop and arrest any of us. And he, I don't know, black hair, medium length.
What direction was he going in?
He points, and it's toward the address that Remy texted you.
Oh, and you sure he a cop?
He had a badge, and I guess it could have been a fake badge. I didn't see it up close. I wasn't going to go up to him while he was flashing.
Okay. I see.
He's still kind of like half paying attention to you and half staring at the money in his hand that you gave him.
Do you have any more questions, Snart?
I think it's more pressing that we go to
Yeah.
see what's going on. Okay.
What's your name, little guy?
Bob?
Bob. Here's some more money, Bob. You be good, okay? No more mugging.
I guess so.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, he looks like he's pretty sure he's dreaming at this point.
He's just gonna use that money to buy drugs. You've killed him. You've killed him.
No, he's going to use that money to buy mugs.
Yeah, it's because he's a mugger.
Mhm.
I see.
Five minutes walking tops. You get there, Jim and Remy are there. It's a crappy-looking building like all the other crappy-looking buildings here. It looks vacant, certainly not occupied. Windows boarded up. No lights coming from the windows. Doesn't mean there's no lights and no functioning lights inside, but if they are functioning, they're not on.
I was going to imagine like Jim and Remy's interaction is mostly wordless. Like they just share the look when they both nod, like we have both come to the same conclusion. Or alternatively, we do the handshake where we both like clasp and flex the biceps.
So you're at the building. 2 stories. I was going to call it dirty, but I think describing it as looking like all the buildings in the area kind of covers that already. So what do you all want to do?
What are the means of ingress here? Like, I assume there's a door, windows, fire escape? Is it tall enough for that?
Obvious front door. There's a fire escape on the side because it's not a single floor building.
So what kind of building is it again?
2 stories, brick and mortar.
Like tenement housing?
Is it a housing or storefront with offices, something like that?
It probably was offices at some point. It's got a flat top.
Okay.
Not doesn't look like something. It doesn't look like a middle class nuclear family residence at all. Windows would probably be harder than the door because most of the windows have boards on them and the door does not.
You want to split this pie? I go high, you go low.
Sounds good.
That call.
I think the 2 more physical people can go in while we wait outside. Or we come in very gingerly after you.
Well, Vika's not physical.
Well, the thing is, Vika is physical, but I don't trust her not to make it worse.
That is
By,
true.
accidentally murdering several dozen people.
A couple of hours ago, there was the incident with the door at the mall.
Yeah.
I think Sin has gotten literally all the messy criticals of this game so far.
Excellent.
And also every roll that would have been a bestial failure if she'd gotten those rolls while performing a physical action.
I don't know what to expect, honestly. Talked to a guy, said there was someone that don't belong.
We talked to a nice boy named Bob, too. He said there was a cop.
A cop.
A tall cop was sketchy. Came this direction.
Did he say the cop had a gun?
Had a badge.
All right. Remy is going to stub out his cigarette.
There's not like an awning in front of the second floor windows, so you do have to climb up the wall. But 2 stories, brick,
Yeah.
windowsills. It's not that.
I imagine it's not well kept either, so there's a lot of those Assassin's Creed style bricks
Yeah,
slightly out of
this
place.
This is not a problem. So what is Jim heading right for the door, or is Jim going to look for a back door, go around maybe?
Nah, I'm going with the direct approach. I'm going to go through the door.
It's going to go through the door. Door's locked. What do you do?
What kind of door is it?
It's a normal door. It's got a lock on it. It's not like an electronic key anything.
Well, I mean, is it a glass door, or does it have a window?
Oh yeah, it has. It has it's the kind of door you would expect at a place of business.
Okay, and this place is supposed to be abandoned, right? Yeah, I'm just gonna smash through and open it.
Strength and brawl.
Wait, seriously? 2 successes.
Your fist goes through the glass breaks, makes that satisfying glass breaking noise, and then it all clings to the floor inside, and you are perfectly free to just reach through that and and just unhook the lock and open the door.
Oh yeah, and I've also got my gator pulled up, and hell, it's probably dark in there. I'll do my creepy red eyes.
Eyes of the Beast turned on. Not much interesting to see, but very obvious. Like simple layout. There's a long abandoned receptionist desk. There's stairs up to the second floor, and there's a hallway into more rooms.
All right, and I'm going to go ahead and draw my 45.
Weapon at the ready.
More than one reason I was avoiding the cops.
Are Vika and Snart going to remain outside?
No, we're going in.
I think
Going
we're
and following Jim and probably not climbing up after.
Yeah. Yes.
Remy, have you chosen a window?
Tell me what the best window is.
Probably the closest one.
Yeah, we'll go with that one. That seems like the smart choice.
You make it into the building through the window. This was once an office. There is a ratty abandoned desk. There's some papers that didn't get gathered when whatever was here shut down or moved. There's always something somebody doesn't care about.
Probably construction.
It is very hard to see. There are no lights, and there's not many street lights from outside. It's not pitch black, but you have to make any.
Would a flashlight make sense for me to have as a person who is homeless and often has to produce his own light in stressful situations?
Tell you what, you can make a preparedness roll for it.
Ooh, tell me about the preparedness roll.
It'll be intelligence and the relevant stat, which I'm going to go ahead and say is...
Please say strength.
Streetwise.
Oh, well, that's fair.
And you need, for a preparedness roll, you need 2 successes.
Exactly what I got. That's good.
Yeah, you would have... Yeah, you keep a flashlight on.
Fresh batteries in the mag light.
Indeed.
So very dramatic. Like you see the click and that single beam in the dark, and just kind of sweeps around. It's all very cinematic in my mind.
The ambient light changes as you move.
Exactly. Yeah, it shifts realistically in a kind of like a piss yellow filter. You know, that sodium lamp.
So Vika and Snart are right behind Jim, who himself is kind of halfway into the entryway, we'll say, the old reception area. Where do all of you want to go from where you are?
I'm just gonna carefully sweep on forward in.
Are you going to go down the hallway, or are you going to go in the first room you see?
I'm gonna peek in the room, see if I see anything.
Nothing there, totally empty. Not even a stray paper in this one.
Alright, and I go on and move on to the next.
On to the next. Please roll probably wits and awareness.
2 successes.
The faintest scent of blood hits your nose. It's not, you're certainly not right on top of it, but probably in this building.
So it's not necessarily coming from this room, it's just something I've picked up as I've moved down the hall?
Yeah.
And besides that room looks empty?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna keep going.
Gonna keep going. Remy, are you coming downstairs to meet them, or are you going to explore the top floor more?
My understanding of this space is it's not vast, right? I'm in an office. There's a hallway. Yeah. There's a staircase leading down.
Yeah. At most 2 rooms. You can see another door right out this door, and maybe there's one more door on this floor.
Just brief PUBG style, like we're gonna close the doors behind us. You know what I mean? Like so that way we'll know if anybody opens them.
Yeah.
Quick glance, checking the corners. Corners are most important. Remy does not have a gun, but he still kind of holds the flashlight in a way that would indicate, like, if he had a...
Oh, I thought he had 2 guns.
Oh, that's right, he's got... And they're always loaded.
Higher caliber than Vika's 2 guns. Vika also has 2 guns, definitely.
But yeah, he's checking his corners, but then he'll head downstairs once the top is completely clear.
Okay, so when you head downstairs, you end up in front of Jim, Vika, and Snart.
So you guys see that flashlight first.
Yeah. So the Vika and Remy, please also roll wits and awareness.
So that's 4 total.
It's a success.
Your success, you both smell the blood as well. Those of you who are above blood potency 1, it smells kind of gross. Those of you who are at blood potency 1, it might make you feel a little bit peckish. For Vika, it's the kind of hunger that the mochi ice cream does not satisfy. But you're all at 1 hunger anyway, so it's just a bit of a, feeding might be nice, but it's not really grabbing you severely. But there's definitely some blood.
So I guess we're proceeding, right? Do we set a marching order?
Well, it's since the stairs came down in front, it's if we're assuming the entrance is behind, it's you, Jim, Vika, and then Snart and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we follow the scent of blood?
That seems smart.
You absolutely can. It gets stronger the further you go down this little hallway. It's not hard to follow at all.
So we should we do the Spetsnaz thing where we all step as one, so that way they can't hear us. They only think we're one person.
Maybe stack on the door. The scent. You can tell the scent leads to the last door on the left.
Probably the one to go for then.
Remy will kind of post up on one side of the door. He does see that Jim has a gun, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Remy his tactics smack strongly of military breach and clear. Like he goes up on that door, he waits for you to get on the other side, and he clicks his flashlight off.
Yeah, gonna take the other side. It's been decades since this was ever something that Jim would have done, but yeah, he recognizes what he's doing.
Remy, real quick, roll wits and occult.
Oh gosh, that's not something I know anything about, but you never know. He grew up in Louisiana, Baton Rouge.
Mm-hmm.
So just a wits and my hunger of 1. I got 1 whole success. Oh, wow.
Just that just confirms that you know why Jim's glowing red eyes. You know exactly what that is. You know it lets him see easily.
Right.
You've met Gangrel before.
Gotcha. So he can see. He's doing fine. The flashlight turning off doesn't bother him.
No.
Dope.
No, flashlights for him are a formality.
Just tests to see how Jim is. He's gonna do that. Some tight ass military hand signs, See if he got any of that.
The language has probably changed a bit since 1945, so some of the responses aren't going to make a whole lot of sense.
Thunder, flash.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Well, I think we're good. Do you have academics, military, maybe? I'm just funning around. Let's clear this door. Let's move this forward.
Bravo 6 going dark.
Yeah, it's going dark. Proceed, Jim. You're the one with the gun.
Yep. Okay. Just for fun, we'll kick it in.
Yeah. Remy's going left. Jim's going right.
Not a door that's been designed to have any sort of resistance, because it was the front door that was designed to stop people from breaking in, and you've already taken care of that, so you don't need to roll for it. The door gives, it swings open, it bangs on the wall on the far side, and what you see is a staircase leading down. And as the door opens, that scent of blood wafts up more. It's fairly fresh.
Yeah, so I'm gonna move down the stairs, covering the bottom with, advancing cover with the gun. Although it probably looks a little goofy, because, again, for Jim's age, he's doing it with one hand, because that was how they trained to do it then.
Yeah. No central axis relock. It's...
Yeah, none of that.
Not Leon Kennedy fighting the zombies.
All right. And then Remy's going to be right behind him, hand on the left shoulder. Proceeding. Dramatic.
Are Vika and Snart staying behind them, or are they hanging up top?
We're following them.
Following them, okay. Safer behind them than further behind them, even if there's trouble in this room.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Jim, you lead the way down the stairs. You reach the bottom of the stairs. You find the basement of this building. There's a discarded mop in one corner. Its bucket is tipped over a few feet away. That is, for about 5 seconds, the most interesting thing you see until you turn and look at the rest of the room. On the far side of the stairs, there is an altar. There is a dead body strung up above the altar, and there are runes in blood done around it, the same as all the animals. And Remy, when you see this, you know instantly this is one of your flock.
Remy is going to take the pain that he applied to his tongue, and he's just going to press his teeth against it. He's not going to say anything because this is a tensely dramatic moment, but he tightens. The air around him shifts. Just
visibly angry. You don't need Daunt for that.
right. That hand on your shoulder could bend steel.
So what do you all do?
Well, I'm just gonna take a quick look to see if anybody... Probably not, I doubt it, but still just look, see if there's anybody else in the room.
Still checking the corners. There's no one else in the room. There's no waiting ambush to spring.
Mm-hmm. And since this is downstairs, is there any door elsewhere leading anywhere off, or this is the only way in and out that we just came
That's
from?
the only way in and out.
All right, I'm just gonna safe and stow the handgun and get to investigating.
Since Snart has, in the previous, expressed the ability to read those runes, Remy is going to point like this better not be a fucking weather forecast.
Okay, so I have 3 occult.
So you can roll intelligence
an
in occult
occult?
or intelligence in
Intelligence
occult.
in occult. Okay.
You don't have
Intelligence
to
in
think on your
occult.
feet for this. You're not in a stressful
Okay.
situation. Four. Well, there's this is a mishmash. Some of the divination runes you saw earlier are in here. There's a couple cuneiform characters. There's just things from every different places of the world. But there's one that sticks out to you like a sore thumb that you recognize like a blinding goddamn flash of light simply because of how absolutely ridiculous it is. It is clear. It does not change no matter how many times you blink and try to pretend you're imagining it. It is kind of at like the 3 o'clock position in the circle of runic emblems. It is the symbol for formless Erden.
Well, yeah, I gotta tell you, this is from a video game.
What?
I think someone just, Googled runes. That's what it looks like.
And someone gotta die because of this?
People have died for even less in the world, sadly. If there were any doubts that they're good at the killing, certainly, but if there were any doubts any of you had from whether or not they really were bad at the occult aspect, those doubts are certainly gone right now.
So we're dealing with like a murdering idiot.
They killing goats. They killing mongoose, was it? Ferret? They killing cow. They killing my people. They're trying to read the weather. They're trying to talk to video games.
Hmm.
Did they just go ahead and exsanguinate this person the way the animals were?
You'd have to poke at it a little bit to be certain, because there's not like an obvious gaping wound.
Right, yeah, I guess my more relevant question is there a lot of blood on the floor?
Yes.
Are there any tracks? Okay. I'm going to go look at the body.
Gotta go look at the body. You don't need to roll because it's not like the body is going anywhere. It doesn't take you long to find the same type of wound you found in the cow. It's kind of under the armpit.
Okay.
Yeah, there could have been this before they were strung up. They could have had like a tube stuck under there, and then like at least the legs lifted up and sort of like pounded on to get the rest out when the heart stopped beating.
Remy's gonna speak up. He's doing his best. Like, if you can imagine the Zach Galifianakis, just like the math is appearing above his head. Like, Like, he's trying desperately to grasp at the straws. He's going to say, the cops didn't want nobody to know that people was dying. They wanted to keep it inside. They didn't want to talk to nobody. They protecting their own.
Do you guys want to go raid the police station?
Remy is...
Not yet.
Now, Remy is going to look to Miss Smith and say, Miss Smith, I'm just about there with you. They're gonna know if that cop was a real cop. They're gonna know where he was patrolling. They don't just go places. We know 2 cops were in the area looking for the goat. If the police station don't know the goat was here, that means those 2 cops was the ones. Remy, is there anything breakable in Remy's general vicinity?
There is a table in one corner of the room that looks like it has some of the equipment used for the rituals that whoever is doing this has done. There's some spare tubing.
He's gonna flip that table like an angry Warhammer nerd that just lost the game. Just whoosh.
One of the jars on it is glass, shatters easily. The tubes kind of splay everywhere. Vika, please roll wits and awareness.
0 success.
0 successes. So when when a lump starts moving in your bag, it actually catches you very off guard and kind of startles you, because at this point you might have forgotten your bag was actually over your shoulder. And as Vika is startled, the flap of her bag kind of moves of its own accord, and a kind of groggy, just woke up sugar glider sticks its head out.
Oh.
Aww.
And it looks around. Not a sugar glider.
That's big. That's big for a sugar glider. What you feeding that boy?
Mochi ice cream.
It kind of looks around. It looks up. And it almost like it seems like it's kind of testing the air a little bit. And after a few seconds of that, it dives out of Vika's bag. It runs over to the corner of the room where Remy had flipped the table, and it starts kind of running around in a circle over what is obviously a slightly ajar trapdoor.
My God, Timmy found a way to fall down a well even down here.
So in Australia, he probably fell up.
Yeah, it's the toilets don't flush the same. I read it. I know.
And that, I think, is a good place to leave off until next time.
Nice.
Okay.
Yay!
Yeah.
We did it. We survived.
Good job.